Some of you may have heard the name Toolroom before. As one of the most innovative major record labels in dance music, Toolroom has been involved in the music industry for over a decade, and now they've decided to try out their hand at the plugin game. And with their new plugin Infinite, you can easily create more interesting transitions with the click of a button. This multi-effects plugin promises to speed up your workflow and create world-class moments in your music. Now, Toolroom did send me this plugin to share with you guys, but as always, this is my 100% honest review. Now let's get in this video. Now, in my time of testing this plugin, I found a few different ways to use it in my production, and I thought it would be best to show off Infinite with a track that would fit the Toolroom electronic style of music with a Synthwave beat. Alright, so here's a track that I just started working on. I've gotten quite a bit of progress done on it. It is a Vaporwave, Cyberpunk, 80s sort of beat. I want to show you guys what it sounds like right now before we do anything else to it. I'm not done with the mixing yet. I need to do quite a few things to it, but I did already put on some Ozone 9 for the mastering and turned it off for this video just in case if it takes up too much CPU. So it does sound way more full in the final product. And then the fruity limiter is just for this video to make sure I don't go over anything and to get more loudness out of it, just for right now. But we're not here for a mastering tutorial. Now, there are multiple applications for this plugin. You can put it on your melodies, your effects, your drums even. So just for right now, let's try putting it on one of the melodies and get our headphones. So I'm going to choose to put it over the reverb because just why not? I'm a menace like that. But here is the Infinite plugin by Toolroom. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot going on here, but there's a lot more underneath this plugin. And we will go over that in just a second. But for right now, staying on the simple mode, you have one giant knob right here, which controls the presets that are all right here. So let's try out the complex transitions right here. This tab is basically going to work well with automation, creating more interesting transitions by adding effects. So let's try out New York right here. Okay, just from that one display, you can clearly tell there's not just one thing going on here, and you can see what's going on over in the complex mode. Here in the complex mode, we have a lot more options and we can really see what's going on underneath the hood. You've got crunch over here with a few different types like bit crush or transistor and tape, delay. There's very unique effects like that. Even just automating that would be a really big difference. We've got some reverb over here too, which whenever you're doing automation in this plugin, there's a lot of changes in the reverb, which you can imagine because of how different it makes the sound. And then an LFO. And then also in the bottom over here, we can see we've got some filter resonance, a format. Also the width, we can make it more mono like this. You can even see it over here, it's all completely in mono. Or it really increase the width to get more separation like that. And then finally some white noise, which is going to come in handy when doing these transitions and sweeper effects. And then finally the gain, it's pretty self-explanatory, it's how loud it's going to be. And it is double click enabled, which means that if I'm over here, double click and go right back down to 0. It's default parameter. So now let's head back over to simple real quick. Now let's add a transition to this very dry pre-hook. Now, unfortunately, you can't just right click and then expect it to be an automation. You do have to play with the knob a little bit and then go over here and then hit create automation like that. And now finally, this automation will control the knob right here. So right here, I'm gonna have a gradual increase and make it all fall off right at once. And then keep an eye on the automation as we go over to complex over here, and you can really see how it's going to change these knobs individually. It just works out so well, man. It's such a really unique, cool plugin, which like, I think it's really made for these transitions and effects that you have for like a bridge or going from one part of a song to the next. All right, and then over here, after the last hook, I have a 1-bar transition of just one instrument before we get into the 4, technically 8-bar outro. So for right now, we gotta get rid of this one and then pull this one back on over, just like that. Something a bit different here, I think. Do something more like this. Almost. Yeah, I like that. I like how it like quickly goes back to normal. That's really good. All right, but like I was saying, there's a lot more applications for this plugin. Heading back on over to our hook over here and deleting Infinite from our melody because I'm now done with that one. Let's try putting it on our melody bus, all of our melodies combined, and then try out some of the other presets. These presets are going to be the main focus of this plugin. As they claim Infinite will speed up your workflow, it has to have some pretty powerful presets. So as we cycle through a few of them, keep in mind how moving the knob will change multiple things inside of the plugin, making for some very interesting transitions. Really good, really good. Oh, this one sounds really, like, cloudy. But this one's going to be it's gonna freeze the sound almost. Oh, okay, very cool. And then like a high pass, or sorry, a low pass at the end over there too. Let's try out some downers, 6 a.m. Oh, that's really cool. That's very like cyberpunky. Yeah, that'd be really nice. Let's try it out with some drums. Has to have some sort of a gate on it, right? Let's see. Yeah, definitely the LFO. Oh, this is kind of like trappy, actually. This gives it kind of like a metallic sort of feeling, which is really important in these sort of beats, so that could work out pretty well. Let's try and create a bridge real quick for this beat, huh? Let's try using one of the transitions. New York, I think, would be fine. Let's go ahead and create an automation clip for that. And then start pinning in any pattern that you feel might work out. Or even put it over here instead. While messing around with this plugin, it became clear that you can put this on a bunch of different instruments, which got me thinking, how would it work on drums? Could this plugin make a boring old drum pattern into something more by adding transitional effects? Ooh. It actually has a lot of like bite behind it. All right, this is the preset that I want to use for our bridge. And then create an automation clip for that. Let's make this into a wave. All right, let's see how that sounds now. Very loud. I like that. Good little transitions, man. Bridges. And so far, it does not seem like it's doing a whole lot to my CPU, which is really, really good. Don't crash after I just gave you praise for not crashing my computer. Oh, that's not good. Yep, okay, it crashed. That is a bummer. I did not save. Now that we're done going through these stock presets, I want to make one of my own from scratch. Starting from zero, building up to what I think would make for an interesting transition or bridge. I want there to be a bit more of a dramatic difference here, so I'll be putting it on my melody bus and creating my preset from there. Also on the complex page over here, cycling through the presets, you can see the different arrangement of the effects. Over here was reverb, and then switch to delay. And then you can move these around to different orders, which makes me think that having these in a specific order will change the way that's being affected. So if I have the reverb over here, the LFO will not affect the reverb because it's going in first. But if I switch that, now the LFO will take effect with the reverb. So keeping that in mind, let's go and create our own preset here. So reverb, let's see. Oh, I like that. I'm curious about the crunch over here, seeing what these do. So this is transistor right now. Bit crush, okay, just bit crushing. I should have probably guessed that. And then tape mode, that was curious. I do always like tape distortion. It's always really good. So for the LFO, I'm going to leave it very slight, just to add some movement, but not really destroy the sound. All right, so here's what it sounds like without the plugin. Very clean sounding, you know? It still has those retro vibes, but still very clean sounds. But But if you want that more grimy sort of thing for like Vaporwave or anything like that, or Cyberpunk, turning this on, much more distorted and just dirty sounds, which is really popular nowadays. And I actually really do like that, so I think I'm actually going to be saving this preset. So hitting save as right here brings up this prompt. We can give it a name. Just why not, you know? And then down over here, you can change where it's going to be, but it's already going to be going to the presets file, so I don't really recommend changing it unless you already know where you want to put it. There's not really too much more to say about this plugin. Like, it's not really straightforward, but at the same time, it's like, it just does what it does, you know? All right, back onto a fresh profile over here. I just want to talk a little bit about the plugin itself. So companies are starting to do this with their plugins, with their UI being a very simple face, and then having something more complex on the other side. And generally, I'm not a huge fan of companies doing that. Like, the Cymatics Keys and Aurora plugins do that, and I don't like the fact that they do that, like, at all. It's just very unintuitive to go through 2 different pages for one thing, but here, it's not doing that. Here, it's a little bit different. This is simplicity done right. It's got one knob with some presets, and then you can hit complex, and then you can find out what it's doing and create your own stuff, save it, everything like that. It's not like you have to go through one page to another to do one thing. That's one thing I don't like about companies doing that. But these guys aren't doing it. They actually make it very simple on the front face and then give you all of the options on the back half. It just makes me feel like it's aware of what kind of plugin that it is. You know, it wants you to automate this one simple knob for transitions or risers, downers, but still gives you those options to create your own presets. All right, so I've got a headache, so I think that's where I'm going to leave this demonstration. So what do we think of Toolroom's first attempt at making a plugin? I think it has some really great uses and would be a great addition to anyone's arsenal. I actually even had a video like years ago on this channel now. What if a song was all rise with no drop? I honestly kept on going through the entire like 2.5 minute song of just kept on like rising like every 16 bars with no resolution. It was very weird. Building up a drop that would never come. This would have been extremely useful and honestly kind of fun to play with for that video. But seriously, I just started making synthwave music where transitions are super important and take time to build out properly. Like when it was time to build up a transition for a track, I would just say, I don't know, another filter sweep? So as someone who is not as experienced in this genre, this plugin opens up a world of opportunities. But that's all that I'm going to have for you guys here today. So thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.